I got next.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to season three, episode number 11 of the Street Fighter I Got Next community podcast. It's your host with the most, one half of the I Got Next crew, the drink commander himself, ShadowAce, and I'll be the moderator for the podcast this evening, joined by my co host on production, always making sure the vibes are smooth, the mayor of making himself, SirRetro. And of course, as tradition, I want to first thank SirRetro for agreeing to host this discussion on his platform. So if you're not already following the live broadcast channel on Twitch, hit that follow button to join in on the live shows on Twitch because we do interact with the live listeners in the comments. The reason I've assembled our panel here today is to get their views and opinions on the local Street Fighter scene. And now that Street Fighter 6 has been out for almost a year coming up, having an opportunity to discuss how you feel about the game and the scene in general. But this episode in particular is quite special because in 2 weeks we have an event known in our state here now. It's called Max Mode, hosted by the Data FGC crew. And each of you may hold different views and opinions towards the game for Street Fighter 6 and community in general. But this platform is just an expression and an opportunity to express yourself in a constructive manner. I'll start off first by introducing our panel for this evening. I'll go first. My name is Shadow Ace. I am an Ed Jamie player, commentator, podcaster, Kraken runner TO, a man of many hats, been playing competitively within the state of Georgia here for over 10 years now. And yeah, we're still going, man. We're still pressing buttons till this day. Been pressing buttons since my first gray hair, and now I got more of them now. So we're still pressing buttons out here. But Sir Retro, introduce yourself to the good people.
Hey everyone, for those who do know, those who do not know, I'm Sir Retro. I'm the other half of the podcast series, as Shadow A said. Mainly, I'm the head TO of the Middle Georgia area, particularly for Reboot, Retrocade Gaming, and esports organization Swagged Out Nerds. Of course, I also partake in other activities with the scene as far as being a bit of coach here and there, mainly compete once in a while, basically do a lot and a lot of preparations for events and many, many other hats. I appreciate once again Shadow Ace for bringing me on board this time to make this series. It is what it is now to this very day. We are now in season 3, episode 11. It's been a while that we've been doing this stuff since we've been doing this. So I'm excited. Of course, the thing is that, as always, of course, we're glad that we're here as the hosts and y'all guys here as the viewers. Most important thing is who is here for our guests.
Yes, indeed. We do have a special panel today for episode number 11. Two of the tournament directors here for the upcoming Data FGC presenting Max Mode here, Data Kraken and Data Big Bates. How are you gentlemen doing this fine evening?
Doing
What's up,
great.
brother man?
All right. Big Bates, introduce yourself to the world here.
Hey, yes. What's up, y'all? It's Big Bates. Y'all know me. I've been on here many a times. Uh, FGC veteran at this point, player of all fighting games. I just love fighting games in general, and I love the Georgia community. And happy to be here on this podcast with the homies and my brother Marco, and have a good podcast.
Oh, for sure, man. You know, Big Bates, like he said, he's been on here a couple of times, so you guys may for recognize his voice and was like, "Oh, Big Bates is back again." Yeah, he's back again. One of the directors there for Maximo. But we also have someone who may not be in the spotlight just like that. Tends to work behind the scenes just to make sure everything runs correctly. And not too many people may know this gentleman, but you may know this gentleman. I'll let him speak for himself, yo. Data Kraken, yo, what's going on?
What's good, guys? What's good? Marco here, also known as Data Kraken. Uh, been around for a while, behind the scenes and in front of the scenes as a player. Just an old guy pressing buttons, playing the game of life, trying to keep everything afloat here in our community.
Great, man. So I appreciate you, gentlemen, for joining us this evening. So if you missed out on previous episodes, please check them out on Reboot Retrocade Gaming's YouTube channel for that playlist for full episodes there. I'll also have it pinned on my Twitter page at Mind of Shadow Ace as well for that link. Last episode we were doing the Capcom Cup episode where we went over picks on who we think was going to win the big one. The first $1 million Street Fighter player in history is a jury player named Uma. That's an amazing legacy to leave behind when that person retires one day. There
Mhm.
were exciting matches, upsets, JP's themes, egg rolls, JP's theme again, and even more hype matches. So what I'm saying? So check that out again, man. If you guys want to hear who we thought was going to take home the bag, if you want to listen to that, go back to check out episode 10 on Reboot Retrocade Games podcast list on YouTube. But here we are, man. Here we are just 2 weeks away from, one of the biggest FGC related events in the last past few years or so. I mean, it's just been too long since Atlanta, Georgia had an event of this magnitude in the spirit that is Max Mode, man. But to understand the present, you have to take a trip to the past to learn about the humble beginnings of Data FGC. And our two guests today, again, some of the main directors for Maximo, Data, Kraken, and Big Bates. First off, I just want to say congratulations because recently, you guys celebrated the 10-year anniversary of the group. That event was in January, I believe, was
Yeah, I
the
was in
10-year
January.
anniversary. Man, time is moving too fast, man. And I was thinking, dang, man, it's really been 10 years. But yo, how does that make you guys feel? I start off with you, Bakes.
Oh man, it's great, man. 10 years. It means a lot, just in the sense of like how much work and effort we put in to plus two, and how much support everybody's been giving us for plus two. And we had a big turnout too, so that felt good. And I had just been coming back from like working on the road for so long, but it was nice to see everybody and people show up to just show love. They didn't even really play; they just want to come out and show love to everybody in the group and community. So it's always nice to see that, man. I love it. It really makes it recharges the batteries, man. Because sometimes this stuff becomes a lot of work, and we all dealing with our own daily lives and stuff. But just to like have an event, show up, and see the people that love the same thing you love doing, and you've been knowing them for so long now, 6 years now, it means the world, man. I feel sorry for people that can't experience something like that. It's a very unique experience.
Yeah, it's that connection, that bond over years and years. Even if you don't see the person on a daily basis, you may catch them, even 3, 4 times a year. But the fact that they're still coming out and supporting, it's always it's a blessing. Um, especially if you've been with and you've seen them for so long and you've known them for that time period. So, Marco, how do you feel now that the data is in 10 years? 10 years. Marco, how do you feel about that, man?
It's a great feeling. It's an awesome feeling to be able to celebrate with our friends and at this point family. We never set out to do anything that we is gonna be past like the year mark, right? We just wanted to set up an event where everybody can play what they wanted, and to just fast forward 10 years and we're still around doing the same thing. It's an awesome feeling, honestly. And I'm just happy that just like Bates said that there's so many people that came to support. A lot of faces that we hadn't seen in a while. It meant a lot to us. And just to be able to also have max mode in this year. It's awesome. It's an awesome feeling.
Mm. Yes, indeed, man. Here's the 10 more.
Yeah.
I want to be in my 60s still pressing buttons,
Oh yeah.
in the game.
We'll be here.
But
We'll
yeah,
be here, man, doing
uh,
it.
oh, that's what's up, man. We'll be full grade. Let's go.
Yeah.
We'll
Imagine
all
running
be
sets
full
in a
grade.
fucking like, and could you imagine being like a retirement home running sets? That'd be hilarious. Like 80
Hey,
years
Just
man.
like
old, my kids,
Yeah,
have my kids come visit me, and we got a whole setup and playing.
hey,
Y'all
that's
kids
not out the
don't know
realm of
nothing about
possibility.
this Street Fighter 4. It's like on Street Fighter 12. Shit.
Street Fighter 12, god dang.
Yeah.
But hey, man, that's not out the realm of possibility. I mean, you got players nowadays that they're playing their kids are entering tournaments with them and stuff. So who knows? I mean, in the future, you could be you had to fight your grandfather in the bracket, yeah, you know, uh, Tekken style, Hayashi. But in order for, let me go ahead and get this started here on our panel. So the origin story, right? So I want to know, or how was Data FGC founded, Marco? You remember the first tournament that was ran and what games y'all ran from back then?
yeah, I actually do remember. Honestly, it was Street Fighter 4. I can't remember the version. It might have been 2012 or it could have been
I think it was 2012.
yeah, it was 2012. We just honestly at that time in Georgia, we had a couple of places that we could play, but most of them were focused on running um the newer games. And folks like us that play like Super Turbo and older games, we didn't really have a spot to play outside of, each other's houses. So we set out to just have something where we can have the newer games and also include some of the older stuff. We didn't care about, hey, is this gonna have a full bracket or anything like that. We were just setting it up, we were just playing. But I do remember the first one. Uh it was Street Fighter 4 because I think we didn't have space to do anything else. And it was inside of the GameStop in Chambly, Georgia. We were able to do it on I think it was Fridays. Dates. I think it was Fridays, right? When we were able
Yeah,
to.
we were doing it on Friday. I remember it was Fridays because we were all trying to get off work. We was planning when
Yeah,
we was gonna get off work and whatnot.
yeah. It was Fridays, and there was no venue fee. It was just a game entry fee, and we just we're just playing because we didn't. We was bringing a couple of setups, and we just have whatever we want to play. And that's just how we started. We were doing it weekly. We found a place to meet. We were doing stuff there for about a year. I want to say a year some change,
Yeah, close to it, a little bit over. Um,
and
Now, was
then
that the? I'm sorry.
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, was that the same? Trying to think. I remember going. to a GameStop, but I don't know if that was the same one that you guys originated from
It was a
that
couple of
had.
GameStops.
Okay, it was a couple of them. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah. It was a
So
couple.
yeah, the first one it was the one in Chambly because it was pretty big. I don't know if you guys remember. It had a lot of space. It was like a massive GameStop. And yeah, we were doing it there. I'm friends with the now he no longer works there. He was a manager. That was my local GameStop for me growing up. So I used to go there all the time and just became friends. And all of a sudden, I asked because I remember playing in the 2009 Street Fighter 4 tournament where we had to play in the kiosk. So I kept up with him, past that, and we just kept chatting. So we ended up he's like, yeah, just bring setups and you guys can just chill here and play whatever you want to. So we started just running casual brackets and stuff like that. But it was in the Chambly one, and then he moved to Linux, and then we did some in Linux as well.
Is that Chambly location still open?
It is.
Okay. I think yeah, go back there one day and see if you can respark something else.
Yeah,
But
funny Easter egg about that Chambly location. If you look at the data logo, the current one we have, there's a silhouette of five folks above the data font. That is the five founding members outside of that GameStop.
oh wow, the five who are the original five?
So from
The
left to
starting five.
right, you have Bates, myself, Manny, Rudy. I'm sorry, it's Akil and Rudy, and then Manny at the all the way at the right. So
Nice.
Rudy has become a dad. He hasn't done anything in a while with us, but everybody else still here.
That man Rudy, man. Super dad right there. I want to be like him when I grow up.
but yeah, that was the original five. 'Cause I still had that a data FGC sticker,
Hmm.
and I was like, I recognize three of the people on there, but I can't recognize the other two silhouettes. And you broke it down, so I was like, all right, now I know exactly who it is now for the original five. But Bates, how did you find? How did you get introduced to the Marco?
How did I get introduced to what?
How did you get introduced to Marco? Like,
Marco? Oh,
how did you guys
actually, yeah, that's a
talk?
funny story, man. So, from what I remember, the first time I met Marco was at GB, and we were playing Ultra Street Fighter 4. And Marco can correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to believe we played each other in a tournament, or we were just playing in casuals. And he asked me a few questions, and whatnot, and we were just talking about the game, like a regular FGC interaction, like how it should be. You played it. Hey, man, you like this game? Yeah, I like this game. I'm just learning that I'm talking about it. I played other games. And we played each other, and then we talked about the game, and then he invited me over to hang out and like play some more, and with him and Rudy. And I would think was Manny there, Marco? Did
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, Manny was there. So basically all of us, the founding members, and except Akil, but Akil was It, funny thing about Akil, man. Akil was with me at my very first tournament in Battling Brew. When the first time I went to a tournament in Battling Brew was on PS3. By the way, me and Akil grew up together. We went to school together, and he was there day one. So that's my day one fighting game homie. And I grew up with him too. So it's like he's like him and Marco are like brothers to me. But yeah, we hung out, we just played games and we talked, and the vibe was there, man. Everything was cool, man. We just gelled. It was cool. It was very
Yes,
natural.
yes, everything just like clicked instantly as far as like you guys just coming together, just just hanging out, and it all started from an interaction at a tournament. Had the vibes been different, it could have been a completely different timeline right now. But you guys were willing to talk. You cut it up. Hey, do you play this? I play this. Hey, can you do this with your character? And you want to come over. I mean, you guys actually had a good interaction that built the foundation for Data FGC. So without that particular interaction, it would have never happened. It probably would have never happened. It probably wouldn't have been a Data FGC if the interest wasn't there like that. So communication seemed to have played a big factor in the origin story, if I'm not mistaken. But
I do want to go back a little bit because they're still missing two more members. So with Rudy, I know Rudy for a long, long time. Also, I grew up with him. Used to be my roommate, and so we've been friends for a long, long time. We before we started doing events at the GameStop, before we even had a group or anything like that. I used to have a storage unit, and we used to run sets there. And we just meet up like once a month maybe. It would just play Super Street Fighter 4 and play AE after that, and we just started just inside a storage unit. At the same time, I met Manny maybe 2012 or 11, I can't remember. We used to go to a convention called Anime Weekend here in Atlanta, and there used to be arcade cabinets there, and Manny would just sit on the third strike cabinet. So I remember playing him for years, and it was just the same dude just beating everybody with Dudley, being disrespectful, throwing the rose in the corner, setting you up for machine gun blow after it.
are you
Just
mean
get-
to tell me that Manny's been doing the same thing for
yes,
over 10 years?
yes, he has.
No freaking way.
So
Because he'll
yeah,
actually like if you see him at an event and you see him on a third strike cab, you will see him on a third strike cab playing, and
That
he's
man
been
loves him
doing
some
that
third
same thing
strike.
for over 10 years.
Yeah,
that's how he used to be, and he's
like
still doing the same thing.
The
Except,
same thing to this day.
yeah, he would just sit there, and it was just like, okay, cool. You'll remember, same color, same style of play, because we were playing on the versus cabinet. And back then it used to be in a small room, and there used to be like four of them put together. So it was like, okay, it's the same dude, same Dudley. No one's beating him. And then you go the next year, and it's the same dude, just sitting there, no one can beat him. Then the next year, and eventually, like I was like, hey man, what's up? You want to run some sets on regular Street Fighter 4? And then that's kind of how I met Manny.
Okay. All right. So you going out to what was it? You say anime? What's the name of the event?
Anime Weekend Atlanta.
Anime weekend. Okay. That's where you met Manny. He was just sitting there on the cab, just
Yeah,
cooking everybody, and then he's like, you know what? Hey man, you wanna run some Street Fighter 4?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's like, all right, cool. All right,
And
bet.
because I don't know if you know, most of the players here in Georgia didn't really like Third Strike. They were like playing Marvel instead, or they were playing Super Turbo. Third Strike was kind of like stepchild. It's only a handful of hardcore fans here in Georgia play Third Strike. So most of us were like, yeah, I play Super Turbo or play Street Fighter 4. So, but once we started playing Street Fighter 4, then it was like, okay, we can play like we're kind of same playing field.
So speaking of tournaments, there, what was the most memorable tournament either of you went to? And I start with you, Bates.
ah, shit. There's so many. Uh, most memorable, man. My so there's it's a competition of three.
Mhm.
It was all classic when we did hallway brackets, NEC, and CEO. There were three, and at that time we were really traveling together. We was rolling as a unit, bro. We was the squad. I know you remember that, Ace. We was like traveling all over the place and everything. But I really, to me, my favorite was probably hallway brackets and TFC. Was that TFC? Was that
Yeah,
KFC?
TFC.
Yes, TFC. Yeah, that was like the most. That was just cool because it was like Street Fighter Five had just came out. We had just made our T-shirts. We were finally traveling together, and we were getting to know a lot of people in the surrounding states of Georgia, and it was just really fun to see everybody grow and just compete outside of the state, man. I really enjoyed that, man. Yeah, for sure. TFC was really, and what's crazy? That tournament it was a shit show because a lot of shit just wasn't going our way. you know, weather was fucking everything up. Power wasn't working. The event didn't run really well because all the other factors involved. But I had so much fun just being around everybody, hanging out. It really is just who you travel with and then who you spend your time with. that can make events like that fun.
Weren't we actually in the storm? Or did it are
Yes.
we passed
Yeah,
over
and
and
we
we
were
were
in the
supposed to?
store. We were
Uh,
in the middle
I
of
just
that
remember it just being
shit.
completely dark for like hours and hours on end.
So as a driver
And
of that caravan, yes, we were in the storm. We were riding alongside. It was in the coast, and we were going up to North Carolina. And the weather forecast said, yeah, it's gonna pass. It's gonna just keep going up, and it's gonna go into the ocean. So yeah, sure, we had to tough it up going up, and then it was just gonna go away. But Hurricane Matthew decided to make a U-turn, and
you was like you couldn't see anything. Like I
yeah,
think I remember it now. I was like, "Damn, Marco, how can you see?"
I was just like white knuckling the whole way, this 8 hour
Oh
drive or
my
whatever it was.
god.
Because it was for those who don't know, we used to travel in 15 passenger vans back then. So it's a 15 passenger van full of players. So I had a lot of responsibility on my hands, making sure that everybody was safe.
You did the thing, man. But hallway brackets definitely is one for the record books, for sure, man. Because I think who was it that found the outlet at it was in a it was actually yeah, it was in a hallway, but the hallway outlet was working, and I guess some who thought of the idea of running a tournament for it.
I want to say it was between Bates and myself. I can't remember exactly who said, "Hey, let's go find power," but I
Mm.
remember trying to run sets with folks because at that point the hurricane had turned around and it hit the venue, and so we lost power. We were on in a weird area. There was a hospital in front of us, so the hospital had its own backup power, but everybody else around was just no power. So there was a curfew; you couldn't go out. The water was like 3 feet high. Um, so we chat about it. I think we had laptops at that point, but we're like, man, we need to get some power somewhere. There was no windows. Of course, the windows cannot be open in hotel rooms. There was no AC, so it was humid and it was in the middle. It was still hot 'cause it was the fall, but it was still hot.
Man, people were
So
sitting outside their rooms
yeah,
just trying to get in.
Was outside sitting on the floor.
Sitting on the floor. Yeah.
Oh
so
my
we
god.
were so bored because it happened the night before, and then the whole day was just like, we can't. We came here to play. We're gonna figure out a way to play. And I remember talking to Bates, and he's like, "Yeah, there's sometimes emergency power or something along those lines."
Yeah,
So we
so, like,
started looking.
whenever so every building has emergency power on it, and typically it's near the elevators, right?
Yeah,
'Cause that's where the stairwells are as well, or ways to get to the stairwell, and then, exit signs. Because you gotta think, when emergency happens, you have to be able to see the exit signs, so they typically have power over there. So I was like, "Man, yo, I bet you have power in those outlets," and then, lo and behold, and I think Marco came up with the idea of, like, setting it up and everything. So but it was a group effort. It wa
yeah,
it
yeah.
was it
It's
was a
definitely
group
a group
effort.
effort. And then
Yeah, the
after
hallway
that,
getting packed.
for those that don't know hallway brackets, we ended up just running like a King of the Hill, tournament, and we did a couple of state exhibitions. I think I don't remember, it's like 8 versus 8 or something. I think we won at the end of the day, if I recall correctly. I think
Yeah,
Data
we
won.
won.
I
It
think
was
it was
so
us versus
many
North
people
Carolina.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so many people. It was like
It's packed.
yeah, we had a whole list. Somebody wrote down a list of, like, each team. It was pretty hype, man.
Yeah, it was a couple of teams. It wasn't just North Carolina. I think there was another one because John Eady also was there. Shout out to John Eady in Texas. He was also helping organize and stuff. Uh, so we didn't get power until the next day, and this was a Capcom Pro Tour. So at the end of the day, they were trying to figure out a power, and I remember Justin Gray from Final Round and and the Legend. They were helping me downstairs trying to like figure out a place to run stuff, and now we're trying to just help each other. They also wanted to use the emergency power because they had to finish the tournament. We didn't know when power was coming back. Luckily, power came back the next day. They lifted the curfew. The ceiling did cave in from the weather. There was a couple of leaks and stuff, but yeah, they finished the tournament and everything went well. But that was a pretty cool experience.
That's definitely one for the record books. And then what about yours, Marco? What would you say would be your most memorable?
I think for me, because it always means something your first time you go out and travel with someone that you can, as your friend, as your group of friends, I should say. I think NEC up in Philly was the first time we traveled as a group. The first time we had the data tag, and yeah, we went up there. It was this usually NEC is usually in December. It was snowing. We all flew up there. Rudy was with us. Akil was with us. So it was the first time we all traveled together. And the most memorable part of that tournament was us joining the New Blood Third Strike tournament. And for sure, we were definitely New Blood because that is not our game, but it was Manny's game. And the way they did the tournament was it was a really cool experience, honestly. They did a King of the Hill for all the newbies, and all heads were just drafting players as that tournament went. Because after that, it was going to be a team tournament, and it was going to be three new players plus a captain, and a captain had to be a seasoned player. Well, us going up there and not really knowing how to play Third Strike like that, except for Manny, nobody really picked us. We had yeah, and I think that bracket was like almost 50 players, I want to say,
Yeah,
and
it's pretty stacked.
it
I
was
mean,
pretty stacked.
yeah.
It was pretty stacked, and
Like if you were there for Third Strike, they was there for Third Strike.
yeah, those guys did not. It was a serious thing, but yeah, we were like maybe it was like two or three other teams at the end of the day, and they were not a captains. That was one of the things. All the cool players they pick whoever they thought it was a better because they want to win. So they ran out of captains, so they had to call some backup captains. And I believe it was Mike Z, the creator of Skullgirls. He ended up being called because he used to be a top player for Third Strike, and he played Makoto, Pikachu Makoto. So he looked at the board and he's like, "Who are these data guys? They sound like a cool bunch of folks." So it's like, "Yeah, it's Mike Z and the Datas. Yeah, I'm gonna pick this guy." So he picked all three of us in the same team. And the guy was like, "Do you guys know how to play?" And we're like, kind of." He's like, "Well, forget everything you know about Street Fighter 4. Stop with the jabs and the light kicks. You have to go." He just give us a rundown, and we started playing.
Yeah, he was getting in
And
my shit. He was
yeah,
getting because I
we
was playing it cool.
I think we lost our first match. Like we just lost. We were not good at Third Strike, except for Manny. Manny was trying to carry a little bit. We lost. We got put in losers. Then he kind of woke up. Mike C started like winning the next one. He carried us. Then Manny woke up. And then we just started doing a little. I think Bates also beat a couple of folks. I think I might have beat one guy. Um, we ran it back to the losers, and we made it to fourth place. I believe we lost to who's that chump player from New York?
Oh,
It was Frankie's team, I believe.
I know what you're talking about. Why
Yeah,
can't I remember?
we got fourth place, I think. We didn't make the top three, but yeah, just seeing that comeback on losers, Manny waking up and Mike C doing some clutch stuff. Like shout outs to Manny, he definitely carried us on that team.
Manny was doing damage. Him and Mike Z was doing damage, man. We
Yeah,
got way further than we should.
yeah,
I felt I was just dead weight, bro. I beat a couple people, but when I got to the real Third Strike players, I was like, all right, man, y'all
nope.
got it. I just passed my energy off to Mike Z, and I was looking like
It,
Krillin in the background.
I think you were playing Akuma,
Yeah, I was playing Akuma.
and I
That's
was
my
playing Alex. I mean, I was playing the worst character in the game, and I was just like, no, this is not for me. I no longer play Alex. I play Chun now. So yeah, that was probably the best experience. Just going out there, also playing KOF there, meeting a bunch of folks from the community, um, people that I still talk to these days. Because NEC used to be the big tournament for KOF in the East Coast. So we had all the international players there, and it was fun just meeting a bunch of folks there. NEC used to be something special for us because we used to go there during the off time,
yeah. It
but
was like
we haven't been there in a while.
And it's experiences like that, man, that can definitely last a long time, man, a lifetime actually, because you're not gonna forget one of your first events or an event that you had the most impact or that had the most impact on you. So yeah, it takes a lot of effort, and then making events like that run and pushing correctly. But yeah, now that we got all the great introductions out of the way, try to ease on into the big stuff here. Um, and we're gonna talk about some Max Mode, man. 2 weeks. How did the planning process start for Max Mode? Kraken, I'll go with you first.
Yeah, Max Mode has been in development for a few years now. After 2019, we decided that we wanted to do some type of regional event here in Atlanta, and we wanted to do the Southeast collaboration. That's what we called it. We were going to other states that didn't really have a big scene. Well, part of the states didn't have a scene because, of course, like they have a scene in like the bigger cities. So, like, say for example, Florida. There's a big scene in Miami. There's a big scene in Jacksonville. There's a big scene in Orlando. But Gainesville, Florida, which is a college town, had a pretty small scene. So we were trying to bring the event production like plus two to those scenes, and then same thing with Alabama. We were going to Mobile, Alabama. Has a pretty active scene, but they just didn't have eyes because they were kind of in the middle of everything. So people didn't. They would choose to just go to their locals instead of making the drive. Same thing with Tennessee. We were going to Knoxville because we knew Nashville had a big scene. And for North and South Carolina, we combined them. We were going to Greenville, South Carolina, which it was kind of halfway for everybody coming from on Charlotte and coming from Charleston and surroundings. And then we were going to finalize that tour here in Atlanta. We started the first event in 2020. We went down to Florida, and this was March or February. I can't remember. It might have been February. We went down there. We had the event, and like a week later, we saw that there was stuff coming out with COVID, and we're like, "Oh, this sounds kind of scary. Let's just hope that we don't get it here." Final round was gonna happen. We were gonna do the next step. I think 2 weeks before final round. It was the next event in North Carolina or South Carolina, and then COVID came, and of course, it just killed that tour. And then, of course, we were like, okay, well, we are mainly an offline group, and we wanted to keep everybody safe, so we just did not host anything until things got better. Fast forward a few years, everything got a little bit better. Um, Started hosting again, and they're like, we talked about it internally, and with Final Round being gone now, and all these other events slowly dying, like KIT, and we no longer having the Fall Classic, and no longer having other small regionals like Midwest Championships, and on and on and on. We decided that we needed to refocus that into putting our energy and resources back into making another regional event. Fast forward a little bit more, we started bringing Plus Two and Block back, and we finally decided that it was time for us to do it. And yeah, here we are now, 2 weeks away.
2 weeks away, man. Look how time just zooms by, man. I remember the day it went up, the saying the registration is now live for the event. I mean, you mentioned final round. I mean, there's a lot of comparison to final round, of course. Shouts to Shin Blanca, aka Larry, for running his series events year after year. Do you believe that Mixed Mode is a spiritual successor to Final Round?
I wouldn't go as far as that, honestly. I think it's final round. It is such an important event that it's really hard to like duplicate that and say,
Mm,
hey, yeah, we're going to follow up, or this is the follow up of that. I think at the end of the day, we just need something in Georgia, and out of necessity, Maxmo was born, and it is data FGC presents Max Mode, and I think we. And it's not that we're look. I talked to Larry leading up to Max Mode and just getting his thoughts and his ideas, and we are in agree that this has to be for the community. And Max Mode Year One, it is definitely for the community. So we're doing the best we can to bring back what we had with Final Round per se, where everybody will come in once a year and have fun and bring the hype down, but with a different feel because our events are more focused on having every game represented and making sure that everybody has a good time. And not to say that the Final Round never did. Final Round was great. It's one of the longest running events we ever had. But we're doing other stuff. It's a little bit different, different ideas.
Yeah, it's kind of like our take on, what we want our event to be and like how our community has influenced the event. And
Mhm.
shout outs to our community, um, game leads and everybody running the bracket and stuff. We really are trying to make sure everybody who is in Georgia and wants to be involved is involved. Like if everybody, the support and love that people have been giving us for this event is awesome. It really warms my heart to see how many people want to be involved with like max mode and have a big event in Georgia and just how a fun event. Just everybody just come together because it's really all it is. We just come together, play games, and see who's the best that day. That's all the tournament is. It's like you come together that day, play games, see who's the best, and then you shoot the shit with your people and have a good time. And that's the vibe that our tournaments have always been. If you've been to a plus two and black, you know how it is. You know how we are. We love this shit, and I really wanted to show on our tournament, and everybody coming to max mode, man. I'm excited because it really means a lot to me, and I'm sure to everybody in the group. Like we getting this done, and we finally can like just enjoy it, man. It's been so much work going into max mode, and about your question earlier about final round, I don't think anybody can replace final round. That tournament holds a special place in my heart, especially being like one of the first majors I ever went to. And shout outs to Larry for hosting that event, making that event, and everybody who got to be a part of any final round or go to any final round will know that like you just had to be there, man. It's special, especially being from Georgia. It was awesome, man. So I'm really excited for a couple weeks from now, man. I'm hyped.
Yeah, looking to create memories and create even create a new legacy and create new memories. Um, for sure. So let me. So another question then. Then how are you and the data team? How are you guys preparing for the event? Of course, hiccups can happen. Has there been like a training course or like running brackets, making sure the games and consoles are all updated with like the latest patches and firmware? Because again, things like this can occur, at the event where say, somebody say, hey, this is the wrong version, or hey, I can't sync my controller up, or something like that. How are people prepared to deal with that type of environment where things can just happen live? Like, of course, power outages, of course, is one of the more common things that can go on at an event. But how is the team prepping to deal for situations like that? And I'll ask, this is a question for both of you, but if, either one of you can go first.
I'll go first. Yeah, luckily for us, we've been around organizing events as long as since we started. Honestly, we've been involved with smaller events and bigger events. Uh, we had an event that we ran for 5 years called Climax of Night. I co-directed that with Shinobi. Shout out Shinobi in Alabama. Uh, so most of the prep work that we're doing right now, we already have a list of things to go by, especially with consoles. We are approaching a new era of PS5s and stuff, and we've been prepping for that as well. But majority of the first time stuff we already went by, like we already have that set because we've been doing like I said, Climax for all these years. With new patches and new peripherals and new converters, we're dealing with another era of going from PS4 to PS5. I've been keeping up with all the updates from Brooks into converters and trying to understand what is the best solution for stuff. And the best solution is especially for players who are not on Fight Stick, who either have leverless or pad, is one, make sure if you're on pad, have an actual cable, a data transfer cable, not a charging cable from your phone. And those who have leverless, who might have a non-official controller that doesn't work, that needs to use a converter, like test that out before you come to max mode. Unfortunately, it's difficult for us to keep up with converters and loaners and stuff like that. So if you know that you play in a controller that is not compatible, or you don't have a PS5 to test out your controller or your leverless controller, just go online, ask the questions. We join our Discord and ask, because more than likely they will have people there who have the same thing that you're playing on, and they should be able to answer that question. But yeah, most of the stuff, like I said, it's just rinse and repeat for us, because we've been implementing a lot of those things to +2 unblock. I think we're the only tournament in Georgia right now that is strictly on PS5 for Tekken and or Street Fighter. I think other folks are running mixed bag of PC and Xbox and PS5, but we're the only ones that have that. So this past 6 months have been nothing but just prepping those consoles and understanding how they work, so that we can get ready for max mode.
Yeah. Okay. And then, Bates, did you have anything to add before I move on?
No, he hit the nail on the coffin.
Okay. All right. So then, what are your expectations for max mode? Like, can you see this event being a new staple in the Atlanta, Georgia scene like 5 years from now, or is it more of a trial by fire type of deal?
I'll go. Honestly, for us, this is the last thing we have uh,
Mm.
for us to achieve everything we set out to achieve. Well, I don't know if you guys know, but most of us have been doing production, a really top level for events. Some without our name on it. We work for a lot of companies. We work for CEO. We work for Combo Breaker in the past. We work for Frosties. We work for Evo. So we've been out there doing all this stuff. We hit all the stages. We work for DreamHack as well. So the last thing we had in our like pyramid of achievements was set up a regional. So honestly, it's all on the community at this point. If the community says, "Hey, we like what Max Mode is doing year one," then we will talk about it internally and make a decision to come back next. But we're not setting out to say, "Hey, the 10-year plan." We just wanna, we're just trying to make a,
10-year plan.
we're trying to
That's crazy.
just fill that void that all these tournaments have left in our community.
Yeah. Can I say
Bas-
something too, man? My bad, Ace. Go ahead, man. Are you gonna ask me?
I was gonna say it sounds like the judgment may be coming from the community and on how the support would go for the event.
Yeah.
But I could be saying it. I could be saying it wrong. I don't know. Base, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, man. No, no, no. This is a community event, and
Hmm.
this would not be here without community. Like none of this would have happened if we didn't have like such a strong community and people that love fighting games and people that help our group and are in our group. So I want to make this very clear. So just so there's no questions, man. This event is not made for money. We're not sitting here going, "Oh yeah, man, this is gonna turn into a great cash cow." Like if you've been in the FGC for any look, bro, if you've been in the FGC for longer than maybe a year, you'll know this shit takes your money. How many people have entered a tournament and lost their money? How many people have spent that gas money to go to a meetup? And will you lose money just trying to play the shit? But that's like the best way to enjoy fighting games is like in person, get to know people, and you do have to like spend your own money to do it. And the thing about this is like all of this is coming out of like the founding members and everybody who supported us. Everybody that's been a part of this has put their own money and like effort into it. I can't
Hmm.
tell you how like the ungodly amount of hours that like Nani, Akara, or Kraken, or like Manny and Rudy and Patrick and all of us have put into this event to make sure that all the minor look, man, I'm not a detail oriented guy. I'm so glad we got like 90 and Patrick and even Marco. Marco's very detailed to like do a lot of this shit, man. They have no idea how much I appreciate them. And I offer what I can, a little like opinions or whatever, but the legwork for this event is a lot, man. These it's a to get this shit going and to get it to be fun and enjoyable, it takes a lot. So um it was just funny when you said like 10-year plan because we just doing this shit because we love it. Ain't no, once you like, it's just really just us and our passion. And like Marco said, this is like one of the things that we set out to do, and it means a lot because it's really showing like all of our hard work's effort coming into one thing. And I just want to see everybody enjoying their time. And if everybody wants another one, like Marco said, we'll talk about it and see what happens. But if people don't really enjoy it or they don't want to show support, why would you do another one if nobody wants to support it or be there? That's silly. That doesn't make any sense. So um doesn't answer your question, Ace. Like, yeah, man. If everybody loved it and we get all the love in the world, and it's like, please come back or whatever, or for sure. But it's one of those things where like you gotta. It's community. It really is. It sounds corny, but it really is just community, man. Because people do this for businesses. I can't tell you how many people we talk to, like video game stores or whatever that open up for like 3 months and then they closed down because they thought they was just gonna like make a bunch of money from running tournaments or some shit and it didn't work out. And they looking at us like, well, what did we do wrong? It's like, what did you think, man? If you're not about loving this shit and you just doing this as a business, I can't anybody with a business mindset, in my opinion, can't be coming into the FGC being like, I'm gonna make a bunch of money right off rip. That's so goofy. That doesn't make any sense. You can't be a good business person if you're thinking like that. So that's just my opinion about it.
And I agree. I agree. You come in there with the wrong mindset of, look, I'm just about to get this paper. Let's get this easy FGC money. We just get a few consoles, get some of the games, get them some electricity, and we about to make some cash. And then their heart is just not into it, for the scene, and you can kind of see the fallout from that. How many spots have came and gone over the 10 years or so that we've been in this state? No disrespect to them, but it's a different mission. Um, but yeah, what has been the most challenging part of the whole entire process, like planning wise, that you'd had to say so far? Kraken.
I would have to say it's the planning and scheduling around the event. Um, Unfortunately, us as a community here in Georgia, we're terrible with pre-registration, so it's very difficult to anticipate how many people are coming in and how many setups you have to have. If you know anything about Plus Two Unblock, we always have the mentality about having enough setups, even if just two people show up, because we want to make sure you have a good time. You don't have to worry about, oh well, my game it's not in the right system or in the right monitor or it's not even at the event. For us, it's like here, you come into you're taking time out of your week, out of your paycheck as well, money, and you want to come and have fun. Like here, just play. Like that's how we always been. That's how this group was created. So it's very difficult for us to work around that when we don't know if a certain amount of people are gonna show up. But that's probably the difficult part about this. Just trying
You know
to
the bum rush. You know how
yeah,
the bum rush is
I
gonna
know.
be.
I
Man,
know.
They see
why
the they
is
see
it
the registration
always
about to close.
well, why
But
though, man? Damn. Like
because
you
okay,
make
I'll
these
tell you why.
early
All right,
you
like,
make these real quick. Just you make early bird registration so people will like have a chance to save some money and they don't have to worry about it. But then it'd be like, okay, well, a week out, let me sign up. It's like, come on, man. And then
well, I
it's
think
also
go.
you have all this time to like try and work something out. A lot of people have reached out to me and I helped them out and give them IDs, and it worked out, and they was able to sign up. So I want to just say this, man. This is all I want to say, and I'll let you speak, Ace. My apologies. Um, with FGC stuff, do not be afraid to reach out to your peers and ask for help. That's my biggest thing. However, you got to get to the event, or like if you're having a problem, get to the event or somewhere to stay, or like I don't know if I can sign up. Don't hesitate and reach out to the people in Discord that you know, or like somebody you see at a tournament and mention them like, hey man, are you going to Maximo? Like, how are you getting there? Because I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it. Da, 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 da. And then maybe you can work out some carpools, or you maybe somebody can help you sign up, or maybe somebody split your entry and then you pay them back. There's always a solution. Always. Don't let one problem that don't 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 be so one dimensional with your thought process on how you can solve solutions is really what I'm trying to say. Just try to figure it out and ask for help. All right, Ace, that's all I gotta say, man.
I mean, that's how it always been, man. Especially for events, you post you make the social media post. Oh, signups are about to close this day, this, and this, and then all of a sudden, just you get this bum rush of people just signing up, and then now all of a sudden, okay, now we can kind of account for the amount of setups that we need. But to your point about people not signing up, I will say things can happen, things can change, schedules can change, life stuff can happen that can kind of like people want to hold off until they're for certain that they can guarantee themselves to go. But if you're in the camp where you know that you can sign up, that you know that you're gonna go to the event, but you choose not to sign up until like the last minute, and I mean, I guess you just want to pay that extra $30. That's on you. But if you know you're gonna go to the event and you have the funds to do it, yeah, I don't get why you just wouldn't sign up to begin with. But hey, it is what it is. We'll see what happens. I think what registration closes this week,
He
if
closes
I'm
in
not
4 days,
mistaken.
the 14th at
Yep.
midnight. So please, if you know that you're gonna go, just register. Do me
Just
a favor and
be
do the rest of a group a favor and register so that we can
mm.
account you and the rest of the folks so that you guys can have a great time.
Also, if you
I mean,
can't, also I just want to say this too. If you can't show up, I mean, I'm sorry, if you can't register or whatever, you know, don't be afraid to show up and show some love and some support.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Just please, I don't want you to be like locked outside the door, but it's hard for us to account for how many people are coming in and what we have to make accommodations for if no one shows up. Imagine if you plan an event and the event said 30 people was gonna show up, or even like let's say you had 500 people was gonna show up, right? And then you get there day of, and 1,000 people are outside the door. You go like,
that
what?
that always happens. That usually happens.
And that
That
happens
usually,
a
I don't
lot. You'd
know.
be surprised.
I don't
Like
know.
I know 500 to 1,000 is a big jump, but it happens to a lot of the
Hmm.
TOs where it's like they
Get
have
mad.
one number and then it doubles the day of. So like I can't stress enough how important early registration is, man.
And I do want to say one thing. It's we do have healthy numbers for Maximum. I just I'm looking at them and there's a lot of old heads that I know they're still playing. So please register. Shout out to you old heads that always wait until the last second. I appreciate you giving me money, but there is no registration at the door. Only for spectators. So if you know you're gonna play, please register.
Sign up.
Yeah, man.
I mean, online registration is closing what, March 14th?
That's
Yeah.
correct.
On-site
So
registration. Now, I did have a question. Now, this does I don't think this includes community games because I think can community games they can sign up day of, right?
That is
Or
registration will be open until Thursday, the day before the event. So that Thursday for online, and then they can do cash at the door.
okay, for the community. That's
That's
just
correct.
for community events.
I
Okay.
think it's cash at the door.
Just
Don't quote me on that. I got to double check.
okay. It'll stay open. The online registration will stay up the day before,
Hmm.
and then you'll do cash at the door on that day for the community events. Whenever the day those events are.
Yeah, that's correct.
So
I just
people can
checked the start date.
okay.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. So do we know when the game schedule and attendees list will go up? I'm assuming
Uh,
after registration closes.
that is true. I mean, we have a tentative schedule that we're working on,
Mhm.
but the final numbers will be on the 15th.
15th. Okay. All right. So just in case people had that question out there, there it is for your answer directly from the director's mouth on that one. So yeah, so the attendees list, yeah, the attendees list is not public as of yet. But for what I'm hearing through the grapevine, like some international competition is coming in addition to like surrounding states. What do you believe is like the most important aspect of making sure that the attendees are going to be safe and have a great time at the event? Uh, I could go with you, Bates, first, and then I'll go Marco.
Okay, so you're asking me like, what do I believe is problems with running? Like, what are you asking? I'm sorry. I'm just trying to
Yeah, well,
understand your
like
question.
yeah, so like when the people the international competitions coming in, people from out of state, how can what do you think is the most important aspect of making sure the attendees, um, them in addition to I guess the people, well, basically everybody, making sure that they're safe and they have a great time at the event.
Well, I mean, of course, you want to make precautions to make sure everybody who is there is accommodated for. Especially, we have international players that we have even people who are available for translation, like translators, and
Oh wow.
we're gonna have security for the event. We're gonna have a lot to make sure the event is safe, accessible, and enjoyable. So, um, for anybody coming out of state or out of the country, I can't wait to have y'all because it's gonna y'all they're gonna enjoy themselves, and it's always nice to have international competition, especially with Georgia. I think a lot of people haven't been to a Georgia tournament in a while, so they're gonna be excited to get that Georgia vibe, man. Like how we our culture here in Georgia for fighting games is so unique amongst like any other scene that I can't wait to see how like other people from out of state or out of the country come and play. Especially the KOF heads, some of the third strike guys. It was funny. We got a lot of old man games in this, and that's by design. These are the games we love, and especially with Marco and his arcades, like them. Dog, I can't wait to see that the arcade room, bro. It's gonna be hype. It's gonna be fun. You know what I mean?
24 hours, yo.
Yes,
Twen-
sir.
24
Yes,
hours.
sir.
Sun up,
24
sun up,
hours.
sun up to sundown.
Bro, we got a
You mean to tell
24
me?
hour man. We got a 24-hour arcade, pop bonuses. We running all the good games, all the fun games. We got community. We got my boy Ace over there. He's gonna be helping with the Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter 5 tournament. We got KOF 13, ST, Rev 2. Like, come on, man. We got all the good games, man. And I'm really excited because it's gonna be some competition. And I've been looking at some of the names in these brackets, and I'm like, damn, it's gonna be savage.
It's some
We
heavy
gotta
hitters.
defend. We gotta defend the house, man. We gotta defend the house. I can't have everybody
Ooh,
sleeping, man. We gotta defend because I got my boy. Actually, and I'm sitting in an assassin from New York that has been my training partner for Street Fighter 6, and Ace knows who I'm talking about. So you
yeah, I
know
know exactly what you're talking about.
that's honorary Georgia in my eyes. So I'm ready to see my peoples do some work. I'm excited.
I want two Georgia players in top 8 for every game.
Every
At least
game.
two. Every game. It's
And
required.
we have the talent and play, man. We got some really good players in Georgia. And I know Retro trying to get his making boys up in there, you know what I'm saying? You know. So
No, they sliding through. They sliding
yeah,
through.
they sliding through. Yeah, I'm sure Making's gonna try to be represented out there. So we got people coming from Savannah, I think. So like, we got the people from Georgia coming. We just gotta show out, you know, especially for
Okay.
Tekken, man. We gotta hold it down for Tekken. We like the Tekken Mecca, bro. So we can't let
It,
people invade, especially with that pop bonus. People want to see that pop bonus and they signing up crazy. So that's how I feel on that. I hope that answers your question.
that does answer my question because the excitement is at an all-time high right now, and I think it's definitely going to be a really well event. I think you guys answered a majority of the questions or concerns people may have. I don't know if anybody wants to post the question in the chat. If you do, feel free to do so. We'll try to answer it live here. And you did answer the next question I was going to ask about security. I know security is definitely maybe a big concern for some as far as being comfortable of attending the event, especially because you may have younger players going to the event with their parents, and the parents want to make sure their kids are safe and have a good time there. So that would have been one of their main concerns would be if security would be at the venue, and you said that it is. So that is a good thing to hear for reassurance. Uh, so yeah, man, appreciate that. Now you mentioned the old games, man. Now talk to me about the game selection. Like, what were the reasoning behind the game choices and the events? Like for the ones that got the pot bonuses, because I think you've already answered that too, where you said that these were the games that you guys grew up on and you wanted to express that, try to push them into the limelight. So yeah, yeah, talk to me about the game selections because someone may look at that roster and be like, wait a minute, Sam Show. Wait a minute, Ultimate Marvel 3? Like, what's going on? Like, where's Killer Instinct? Where's this? Where's that? Da da da. Stuff like that. So talk to me about the game selection. How did that come about? Uh, I said Kraken.
I got you. Yeah. Honestly, a lot of these games that we chose where it was really tough to choose them before year one. We didn't want to overwhelm the team with having a plethora of games. We wanted to choose the ones that meant a lot to us and to our community here in Georgia and surroundings, of course. Marvel has a big history here in Georgia. Shout out to Eddie. Eddie Moo now lives in Seattle, but he was one of our top players for a long time, along with a handful of other friends that live here. So we felt like it was important to have Marvel. Third Strike is very important for, like I said, for us because it was one of the first events we went to. And Manny, it's at the moment he's a very, very good player. Kept playing all these years, and I think right now I can honestly say that he's on the top of the list for Georgia players for Third Strike. Sam Show, my brother Bates, one of the top players of the game in the world. You have to have it.
Bro,
It's
I'm never gonna be a part of Noah. If I'm running a bracket or if I'm part of that event, Sam Show's gonna be there.
yes.
So shout out to all my Sam Show brethren and SNK brethren. As if I'm part of it, Sam Show gonna be there in some facet. And a lot of people don't know this, but the first I think it was the second. It was either first or second climax. Probably the second climax. I had a Sam Show setup at climax, and we had like a bunch of people coming over there and playing. So if I'm there, Sam Show's gonna be there. My bad, Michael. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Uh, I have a big history with KOF, so we of course had to have KOF in the lineup. Same thing with the French Red community. I've been producing IMAX of 9 for 5 years, so they knew they were gonna be on max mode. In Tekken, honestly, Tekken is extremely strong here in Georgia. We have so much history. The history is so rich that there was just no doubt that we would have to have that. And of course, Street Fighter. Most of us here are Street Fighter players. And then all these other games, Mortal Kombat, Grand Blue, which is it's honestly I didn't realize how big it was here in Georgia until the last few plus twos that we added it. My goodness, competition is great. So we had to add all these games into it, and nothing against the older games. We just can't house everything. We just don't want to provide an experience where we have all these games and people are not. We're not capable of handling all of them. So we wanted to make sure we stay with a nice core of, amount of games, and then we'll build from there. But I did wanted to touch a little bit of location and safety from the last question. We are actually in the north part of Atlanta. Most folks who might be new to the venue have never been there. We Final Round used to be like closest to the airport. We're like in the opposite side. We're in the north part of. If you look at the train system, we're in the Doraville part. So for those people who are coming from out of town and driving in, or they're taking they're flying in, they can just take a train and then go, it's like a 5 minute Uber from the MARTA station. And we're in a pretty nice area. There's all kinds of food there. There's all kinds of restaurants, shopping. There's a theater. There's a Target. There's all kinds of stuff where we are. It's more of a suburban feel than previous events here in Georgia, because most people know the downtown area or the airport area right around. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and that was kind of the next question I would say, like, for people to experience in the area, like food, like where can people go to like eat and drink while at the venue? Like, I know there's like a Smoothie King, there's like a Jersey Mike's, like a tea place up the road that's offering like a 10% discount
Mm-hmm.
if you show your badge, your Maximo
That's,
badge there.
that's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
the
yeah.
name of the place is Tai Chi, and they serve a lot of Asian bistro snacks with boba, and they've been kind enough to give us a discount for the weekend. Show up your badge, and they'll give you a discount. There's all kinds of food in there. There's from regular American fast food to there's a lot of Mexican restaurants around there. There's a brewery. There is literally all kinds of stuff. And if you keep going a little bit further up, there's a nice shopping center. And then there's a downtown area of Norcross who also has a lot of gourmet spots. So we're pretty much surrounded by food. So any
Yeah.
kind of food you want, it's within, a couple of miles.
Yeah, just know that if you guys see me there, I'm definitely gonna have a Smoothie King cup. I think it's required for me to have a Smoothie King, a large Smoothie King cup, because Smoothie King is kind of one of the spots I used to go to a lot. Like before going to work, I just probably just go to Smoothie King, grab something, and then head into work for it. So, and plus that place is like maybe 10 minutes away from my old work location. So yeah, I definitely used to hit them up a lot. So I'll be rocking around with a Smoothie King cup when y'all see me. So, but yeah, man, that's really good to hear, man. A lot of different food areas. I mean, food spots people can go to grab a bite. I think that's going to be very important, especially for like out of town guests. They want to get some of that good local cuisine. They can go to those spots. Eat good, come back, have the 24-hour arcade. So, say for example, somebody have some trouble sleeping at night. Guess what they can do, Marco? They wake up. Hey man, I'm
Yep.
just gonna go down to the arcade and play. I could
They
fall
can,
asleep.
they can go to America's favorite breakfast spot named Waffle House. It's literally down the street. And then come back and run some sets.
Yep, it's perfect, man. I couldn't think of a better way to help you go to sleep too as well. Like, just imagine. I guarantee there's gonna be somebody who's gonna fall asleep at the cab, like while still standing up, while still holding up, playing the game, but they're gonna be passed out. And I think I need to get that picture of that. I need a picture
Shout out Eugene.
Yeah,
of that.
that's the true Georgia experience. Playing in the cabs all night, going to Waffle House after it, and then passing out in the arcade room.
It is, yeah. It is, man. So I'm very excited about the event, man. I'm really glad to see people I haven't seen in quite some time too, as well. So you can catch up with people too, as well. Meet new people. So speaking of meeting people, so people can get to know the team. Outside of Data Kraken and Big Bates here that we had, who are the core staff or names people can get familiar with in case they have questions while they're at the event?
Oh, I can take that. Yeah. So you already named us. You'll have Kara. You will have 645. You'll have Dirty Llama. Those are like the main ones that will be out there. But underneath it, we have a bunch of game leads underneath. People who are part of a community who are here local and from out of town. You'll have Frankie G coming from Chicago. He's helping us with Marvel. Rex Caliber from Alabama. He's also a seasoned TO. From Georgia, you'll have Sunebreakers will be out there with Matt Spear and that. You'll have the guys from KSU. I always butcher his name from Record Reset. Saigan. I don't want to butcher his name.
I
Of
think it's
course,
Saigon.
yeah,
Yeah.
I always butcher it. You'll literally have a bunch of people, and we will all have staff shirts. So if there's any issues in any shape or form, don't be afraid to say something. If I look mean in real life and you don't want to talk to me, you can always talk to anyone else, and they'll get to me. I know I could be a little intimidating with a big beard and the big long hair. but I am very easy to get to know and speak to. So yeah, just find anyone with the staff, and they will be able to direct you to the solution.
There it is. So, in case you guys got any questions about what time an event can be ran, feel free to reach out to a staff member because might not everybody may not be too familiar with the start DJ. Even though they signed up on the page and it lists the game and stuff like that, they still may have questions and things of that nature. So please, guys, do not be it's too intimidated to speak out to the staff if you have any questions in regards to the event. We also want to make sure everyone has a safe time too as well. So if you see anything that could be suspicious or out of place, please feel free to notify a staff member or the nearest security officer that could be patrolling the area too as well, because we want to make sure the event is secure as much as possible. So yeah, I mean that I think that wraps it up here, man. I think definitely do appreciate you guys time right there. I know it could be quite busy, and there's still some more work to be done here, so I don't want to hold up too much on your end. But do you guys got any announcements, any shout outs like vendors, sponsors, anything you guys want to say before we wrap it up here?
Bates, you wanna close on that one?
Yeah. Um.
Oh, I
What
got
can
you.
I
I
say?
got you.
No,
I
no,
got
no,
you. You got it. All right.
I got it. Yeah, I got it. Um, as far as the vendors go, and we're gonna have a lot of stuff to do. There's gonna be a lot of stuff to do, and like I said, with 24-hour arcade, Marco has been working on merchandise, and these designs I fucking got like, and I love them, and I can't. I'm excited for everybody to see them. As far as like t-shirts, anything like we're gonna be selling like t-shirts and stuff. Even just the designs on the badge and stuff, we put a lot of love into that. So um just show up, support, man, have fun. Uh the area, I like we were talking about the area is really cool, man. There's food everywhere. Just when you come to this event, man, just enjoy yourself and be ready to play some games, man. Because it's gonna be crazy. And if you haven't been to Georgia before or been to an event in Georgia, it's gonna be loud. And it nobody everybody gonna say what's on their mind. So just
Oh
get
man.
ready for that. Yeah, yeah, get ready. And then shout outs to everybody who's volunteering and helping with the event. The love and support and people who want to be a part of the event is greatly appreciated. And don't be scared. Like Marco was saying earlier, I feel like this is a topic on this podcast every time I hear. Don't be scared to approach us at the event. I'm just happy you're there. So if you walk up and ask me a question and just want to talk, that's cool, man. It's very much appreciated. And um, even if I'm busy talking with somebody or whatever, just a quick drive by, hey, what's up, man? Appreciate you is fucking super. I'm super thankful for that. So I got people coming out that I haven't seen in a while, and people who I've never seen before at all that I've just met online playing. They're coming too, and I can't wait to meet them for the first time. So don't be scared to show love to Marco, me, myself, Kara or Dirty Llama or even Jelani, Akil. He's doing a mini game lead. Just don't be scared to show love and interact with your peers and have a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Let me. I got a couple things. I do want to say that this event is for y'all, for the whole community. It's definitely a labor. Uh, all the labor that we put it into is because we care about this. And on contrary to popular belief, we're here for you guys. That's what we're here for. Not because we have this big event and we want to do more things. We just want to make sure that we have a good time. And it's we had to keep expressing that because without this community, we wouldn't have this lifestyle that we have now. It's most people think that it's a hobby, but for us, this 10 years is a big chunk of our life, and it's has become a lifestyle. I can, I can. It's so difficult for me to explain it because now where I go, it's just nothing but fighting games, and I kind of lean towards that now. Like if I were to travel to anywhere else, I have made friends all over the world just because of fighting games. So it's part of my life now. And I want to thank everybody who has registered from out of town because it was extremely overwhelming to see everybody, not from like Georgia, register. I was like, wow, I would never expected all these folks all the way. And I can share a little bit of this all the way from Brazil to Canada, Puerto Rico, and from all over the U.S. who are coming to Max Mode. It is
Ah,
a great feeling.
yo, Brazil.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Uh, so yeah, this event is it's for y'all, and honestly, if there is anything that we could do better, let us know. We're all ears. We do have a channel on the Discord for Data FEC that you can ask the staff. If it's
Oh yeah.
something, yeah, if it's any issues, we'll be monitoring that channel throughout the weekend. If you can't get to one of us, just post it in there, and one of us will see it. We'll have people looking at Discord the whole time, and they can, reach us out and say, "Hey, there's something going on." If we miss it. But yeah, this event we have to make sure that it's safe for everyone. We do have a lot of folks with kids, even from our team. They will be bringing their kids, so we understand that it's a family-friendly event. That doesn't mean that you guys can't have fun. If you've been to any of our events in the past, we know how we get down. 24 hours. That's kind of my stuff, man. I love arcades. If you know me, you know I have a large collection, and I love to bring them out for people to have fun. Um, yeah, it's gonna be awesome, and I want to touch a little bit on what Bates said earlier. If you don't play anymore like that, you just want to come and hang out, please come out. Just hang out. You know, even if you don't want to compete.
I mean, just your presence there at the event is a telling sign of you supporting and you just well you supporting the event. You coming out. You don't even if you don't sign up for anything. Just seeing people you haven't seen in a long time can go a long way. Because I know some people may be like they could be down in the dumps and this event that event that weekend can help them take their mind off of stress. They can leave their stress at the door, press some buttons, chat with some people, and feel better and approach the situation different when they leave. And hey, if I didn't go to this event, I could still be in this stupor that I'm in, but because I went to the event, I'm now feeling much better, and now I'm ready to take care of what I needed to take care of. So yeah, definitely, man. Don't be afraid to reach out to any of the data staff members too. They'll be walking around all weekend. I know they may appear busy, but again, if you have a question or concern that needs to be addressed, please reach out to a staff member so that they can help you. And even your peers may be able to help you. Like I know people are going to be like, "Hey, do you know where pool?" That was another question like the pool signs. I mean, I know you guys are already gonna have like the pool signs of what tournament is where and stuff like that at the venue. This game is being ran over here. This game is being ran over here and stuff like that. But you're gonna get those questions too as well, and people may ask you about times. So yeah, just be mindful, like and just be patient because you guys might get a lot of repeat questions too as well and hopefully everybody can go out there and just have a great time and pressing some buttons, man. And that's what it's about. It's about community. There is without unity there's no community. So once again, big shout outs to Data FGC for putting this event together with their sponsors and vendors and supporters and making something like this of this magnitude happen, because this an event like this is quite needed, um, and it's been such a long time since something like this has happened in Atlanta, Georgia. So I'm very excited for it, and I'm glad to be a part of it. And we'll see where this journey is going to take us. But regardless, though, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We do appreciate you, everybody in the chat that tuned into the live broadcast here, and everybody that's listening to the rebroadcast. Because Sir Retro, once this is finished and done, he'll go ahead and edit it and put up the YouTube link for the podcast in case you missed this live. So thank you for listening in on that. But with that being said, 2 weeks away from the event. Gonna be glad to see everybody. Retro, be glad to see you out there if you can make it, man. And likewise, hopefully we'll have a great time. Um, but that'll be it for that. Got any final words, Bates?
No, man. Thank you for having me on as well. It was nice to do a podcast with Mark. That was pretty cool. I appreciate y'all and see the progress and effort y'all been doing. Especially y'all been consistent. Y'all been doing it for a while, so y'all can still work on some stuff. But y'all are getting there, man. And I appreciate the effort and improving. You know, y'all need to actually. I got a suggestion, man. Can I make a suggestion?
Go ahead, Bates. Go ahead. The floor is yours,
I can
man.
make a
Do your thing, man. Go ahead. You got it.
uh,
suggestion. Oh, okay, cool. I can make a suggestion. Hey, man, you need a Sir Retro segment.
A SirRetro
I
segment.
need a Sir Retro segment, man. I don't know what kind of segment y'all come up with, but I need some wise words from Sir Retro.
A
I feel like
SirRetro
Retro.
segment.
Yeah, man, I feel like you're a little bit too quiet, man. And we need some wise words, Sir Retro. But you know how like
Okay.
you do your little brain teasers at the start? I need a
I
Sir
did.
Retro.
You need a SirRetro segment.
Yeah, man.
Like SirRetro
Yeah,
says.
I don't like he trying to be in the background, be all humble and shit. I don't like that, man. I need a retro to show
I mean,
people how he really
why
is.
can't we can do it right now? I mean, it's nothing. Yo, SirRetro. Retro, you there?
Yeah,
All
put
right,
me
so
out.
this gonna be the first ever SirRetro segment. Go ahead, you got it.
Um, well, well, one thing I'll say for today, well, for this time being, for retro says, if you want to call it that, of course, as because of one of the things I'm put with the announcements, but that's what actually is happening this weekend in addition to ours. Found out Dalton, Augusta, Atlanta, Savannah, Fayetteville, uh, all of them have actually having tournaments the same weekend, and right before Maximo, alongside with us having it in the middle of Georgia. Literally, that's the most I've ever seen Georgia this active. But it wants, yeah, and it, yeah, that's this is crazy. Like to see everyone decide to have tournaments, and everyone started to have like a lot of active stuff. So, but the thing is that it does to say that we're still here as a scene. And for those who want to join the FGC and know what it's all about, and like Kraken said, no, it's for the community, and like I said, it's for even people even outside the community, especially. And I'm very sure, with the features that y'all guys gonna have at max mode, you'll attract people, even those who don't know what a fighting game is. And that's also be a great thing that I know you guys also may intentionally or unintentionally aim for. And it will happen. And that's where basically like at the FGC we do have a culture of things and how we operate and so forth. We do have a way to that's may not seem as sophisticated, but we are. And for those who don't know what we do and so forth, no, challenge yourself to come out and check out, because you won't fully know what the FC is until you check it out for yourself. And we also, and the thing is, a lot of things that happen, incidents and stuff like that, the problems that we have, that's not what the FGC stand for. And I know there were topics that I threw out suggestions for, but of course we want to talk about make sure max mode. But I want just make it a moment just to have a, just want to take out a little moment for those who unsure about coming to the event and so forth. I believe you should. And like I said, this weekend, upcoming before Maximo, we'll have tons, and there's places you'll definitely go to. So you definitely, check it out. But definitely, I would say, go to Maximo, get the experience and go out there and support it. And because you never know, you might find people who become your friends. You might find people that become your family. And like I said, and for even though we're around the same age, I look up to Marco, Bates, ShadowAce. And I know he's not here, but he's still, he's in Kansas now. But Dat Vip, Larry, all those people, around that came before me and stuff. I consider them as the big brothers, uncles or whatnot. They're pretty much, basically part of the family, and we all gonna be rough on each other because of the culture is, but it's always with love. So definitely for those speaking out to those who are new to the FGC, those who peering in who don't really know what fighting game is or not trying to get in gaming. Just want to say that little moment for y'all that we'll welcome you guys with open arms and feel free to ask any questions and support, and also to the players. This is the chance and the moment to support what you guys claim to support. You love Third Strike, but Maxima is going to have it. You love this fighting game, Maxima or any other Georgia place is going to have it. You want to see money in the pot, you might, we got it, and then what it also will take, contribute to it too. We got it going to be there, and like I said, hey, I want this to happen and want to be there on time, this and this, hey, well, register. You want to compete? You got to follow the rules to compete, So this is also to say that support what you claim to love doing, because
Say
you
it
can
one more time, Retro. Say it one more time.
support what you claim to love doing, because there are a lot of
One
people
more
who
time.
support.
Yeah, one more time for the people
One
in
more
the
time,
back.
Retro.
Support what you claim to love doing, because
That's it.
you can say I love fighting games. You can say I love this game. I can love making money. I can do all that, but you don't support yourself to making money, playing games, do whatever, support community. That's where things will fall apart. So this is a challenge to you guys. Y'all guys want to see these events. You want to see a big Georgia event. You want to see the Georgia event in Savannah, Atlanta, all these other places. And I would like to see that one day. Y'all should go. We should have that one day. Well, now this month, it's so many events you can't even. So there you go. So the ball is in your court, and that's why I say once again, support what you claim to love.
What you claim to love. That is God like, yo. Hold on. Let me write that down because I need that. I need that, yo. I need that. Yes, indeed, man. But to this point, man, it makes perfect sense. I mean, it's just perfect logic as far as if you want to talk about why this tournament doesn't happen or how come there's no tournaments for this game or stuff like that. When you got a big event like something like this coming up and you don't show up, my God dang, I don't even want to hear anything else you gotta say, because I mean, it's community, man. I mean, how can we not unite as a state in regards to like collaborating and marketing for events? I mean, I know not everybody would be on the same page in regards to like event planning and coordination, but I feel like this is an issue that's like present within not only just this area, but in like multiple scenes as well. And you guys might feel differently, but with this event being like a brand new event, a lot of eyes are watching. So of course, naturally, there may be doubt about its success, which is a fair criticism, right? It's a brand new event. I'm not gonna say out of nowhere, just an expression. But the people are like, who is Data? Why should I go to Data? What's in Georgia? Who are these people? Why is this not happening? This. Why should I travel 200 plus miles to attend their event? Who are these guys? Yada yada. But in order for that, for something like this to happen, it has to start off at the roots, at its roots. I mean, you're going to start off with the criticisms. It happens once they see the success, then they'll come. I guess I don't know. Isn't that how it works, Bates?
Yeah,
Ain't that
man.
how it works? They got to see
That's
results first before they hop on board.
that's that's how it be, man. But nobody's perfect. We all learn, man, and you gotta go to what you want, what you love, man. Go to what you love, and go to what you like.
Hmm.
And nothing's
Mm-hmm.
perfect. There's gonna be flaws with everything. Things are not gonna go like correct all the time. I can't tell you how many events I've been to. We were just talking about our favorite event. Nothing was going right, but it was fun because we made it fun. You know. So like
Hmm.
I f- I know people are quick to be like, "Oh man, this isn't how I wanted it" or whatever. Hey, here's a fun story. My very first tournament I went to, when I was talking about with, Valorant Brew, I got DQ'd because I had walked outside and I was talking to some of the players. I won my first match, and then I lost to Ramen Addict in my second match. And I walked outside and I was talking about the game. It's my first event, so I'm hyped and I'm learning everybody and meeting everybody. And then I go back inside and they're like, "Are you Bates?" And I was like, "Yeah." Like, you got DQ'd. I don't. And I was like, "What?" I was just outside. He's like, "No, you got DQ, man. I ain't got time for that. You should have been in here." And it hurt, but
Sheesh.
it motivated me to come back to the next one and just make sure that when I'm in the bracket, I'm there. Like for the next tournament, I was not finna get DQ'd. You know what I mean? For nothing. Regard, I figured out what console they were running on, so I had my controller and everything. So, um, everything. There's plenty of times in our lives where things don't go right, but don't let that discourage you. Keep coming out, keep supporting, and keep learning and having a good time, man. And shout outs to Retro, man. Y'all can call that segment "Words of the Wise" from SirRetro.
I also like Sir Retro says because
SirRetro says, "There you go." I like that
Sir
one too,
Retro
man.
says that's it. There it is. We bookmarking it. Part of history, man. But all right. So y'all, Crack, you got any last words for the good folks?
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you for guys for inviting me. I know it's been a while. I got an invitation before, but I wasn't ready to share some of this facts with you all. But I'm happy to be here. Thank you for taking the time to make this for our community. I think it's quite interesting that you guys are doing this. It's quite um, a great source of information for the community, especially those who are not in the metro area. Shout outs to those folks who live in all the edges of Georgia, even of the Mist, the Savannah folks out there, and on and on and on. It's a great source of information. I do want to say that this event that we're doing, just to close out, I don't want to go too far. It is for all of us. Let's just keep it nice, keep it friendly, keep the competition, keep the hype up. Let's talk about more if we come back in the next one. But I just want to thank everybody for taking the time to even consider coming out to the event, for looking at that registration page, to looking at the Twitter post, looking at the video, the trailer. It means a lot to me and to the rest of the team. I there's too many of us to list, but thank you to everybody on my team that have been putting with my stuff for all these years, and they still do. Thank you for everybody that's helped me with production for all these events, for Plus Two on Block, for arcade cabinets. If you help me push one of those cabinets, thank you for breaking your back with me. If you help me set up a monitor, set up a console, pull some wire, run some power, thank you. It means a lot to us and to the group and to myself. I just want to say thank you. I will be seeing you guys in 2 weeks, and just know that come and have fun. That's what we're about. Just have fun, enjoy yourself.
Okay. Yeah, appreciate you taking time out to speak with us, you and Bates. Aldrich had two questions actually. The first one was, is the venue pet friendly? I would say actually check with the hotel. If you could see, maybe they on their website, they would have like their policy in regards to pets. I'm not 100% certain if it's pet friendly or not, but if you can go onto that website or contact them and ask to see if that is the case, then you should be good on that. And then the other question they had was, "Can someone tell me if the venue will be open for public or is it pass only?" That is a good question because you don't want random people just walking up in there.
Yeah, so for safety reasons, it's a private event, and you will have to have some type of pass. We do have spectator passes, which is a pass at the bottom of it. You just come and hang out, you play arcades. That's what you'll have to get in.
So in other words, you'd have to have a badge around your neck in order to go into the arcade.
Yeah, and it has to do more of a safety reasons, because the last thing we
Hmm.
want is just some random from the street walking in and just you know causing damage or doing harm to anyone in there. So we do have to control it in that way. So it is open to the public, but you will have to register. And when you're at the event, you will have to have a badge.
Okay. Kara said only service animals are allowed at the venue. Uh, there. So that to answer that other question, Aldrich. But outside of that, Retro, do you got anything for the good people?
Some of the event and stuff.
Yeah, we got any ads?
Yeah. I'll go ahead and run right quick. I mean, of course, this is obviously what we were talking about earlier. Um, okay, as you can see, that we'll have our calendar, for the um, month of March. Of course, we're not gonna have online tournament for a while because we're gonna be preparing for this week for our event, the Easy Kai event, that's gonna be happening in the Sports Hall of Fame from Saturday and Sunday, March 16th and 17th. Of course, we'll go more in details with that. Of course, that would be $300 pot for the main games of Street Fighter, Tekken, Guilty Gears, and Smash Brothers. And of course, we will feature other games such as Mortal Kombat, Grand Blue, and Marvel 3 and Super Turbo, at least. And of course, we'll have a cosplay contest featured there, and we'll have some other cool things that's happening. There'll be a special NBA 2K event that's happening on the side. So definitely, come through and check it out if you're in the Middle Georgia area, especially. This will be part of the Cherry Blossom Festival, so we're working with them, and they wanted to make this happen again. So, thank you for all that happened, made it happen last year. But also, major special thanks to Data FGC, especially Marco and Nani, for helping us out on our very first Cherry Blossom event a couple years ago. So thank you once again. We appreciate it, and that helped gave us a good little kickstart to do something like this, here. So appreciate you. But you got something special about that because the winner of the Street Fighter Finals will be getting a special free venue entry ticket to Max Mode. So we got a little collaboration that's happening right here. So definitely, if for those, like I said, we are doing last chance qualifiers because we did it at Middle Georgia Circuit. We have a last chance to qualify for the final spot in the Street Fighter tournament, and then the top 16 will play out. But first place of that not only gets good money and a little trophy, they'll also get a free entry to the max mode. But of course, I just want to present it here once again more in detail that we have max mode, and y'all guys want to talk about the pop bonuses or the supports that you got, Kraken and or base.
Yeah,
Uh,
shout outs to Momocon and SNK for coming through. Momocon has been a long-time supporter of Data FGC and any events here in Georgia outside of Plus Two and what we put together. They've always come down and help us out what they can. This time around is with a few bonuses for the events that we're running. SNK supporting, of course, their titles, hoping to get a little bit of money in the pockets of those players. But yeah, I want to point out because the dates didn't match. So we do have a special placement because we closed registration the 14th, and then the Euros event is that weekend. So it won't be open past the 14th. I just want to make sure that people know this once again. 14 is the last one, except for this winner. I'm manually going to add him. But yes, thank you to everybody who is helping us out with this. Um, Street Fighter and Tekken, I can share this right now publicly, are on the lead for max mode, the most entrants. So if you play any of those games, you're gonna have a juicy pod if you make it to the top three.
yeah.
Okay, so just yeah, so I had a question then. In that case, so will all the well once the schedule gets figured out, um, now all the finals are going to be on Sunday, like all the top
Uh,
eight.
I can only share that there will be finals on Sunday, a classic format for big events, and more than likely these two will be the on Sunday, Street Fighter and Tekken.
A top eight on Sunday. All right, go ahead. Yeah. Then the pop bonuses for KOF and Sam Show, 500 and 250 respectively for both of those games too. So Maximo getting a really good substantial payout, man, as far as that is concerned. So even with the amount of entrants that are coming to the event, I know the nerves and the tension can be at an all-time high, but I know people are going through their training arcs right now and making sure they're practicing all those hit confirms and labbing and stuff like that to get prepared for the big event, man. So I'm very excited for it. Teamwork makes the dream work. So hopefully we'll be able to put on a great show and I'm just excited to see people that haven't seen in a while and chat it up with them and make new friends and stuff like that and make new memories. So with that being said, once again, thank you guys, Data Kraken, Big Bates, SirRetro. You guys appreciate that for episode 11. But that is going to wrap it up here. Again, this episode will be archived and posted on the YouTube. So if you missed the live broadcast, the rebroadcast for this episode will be going up tomorrow, I believe by 12 noon. If not, if there's any delay, Retro will let me know. But for right
Hmm.
now, that's going to do it here for season 3, episode 11 of the I Got Next podcast. This has been Shadow Ace with ShadowAce. You guys be safe. See you at max mode and take care. Peace.
See y'all.
Yeah, appreciate y'all.
Yep. Well, yeah, for those who are still going to be here, we're going to send you guys over to Ghost SFO of the Untamed Gaming, our good homies in the West Coast. Well, actually, particularly he's in the UK, but no, Untamed Gaming crew, they're doing some Street Fighter 4 happening right now, so I'll send you guys over there. So support the homies. We thank them for supporting us, and thank for the fun rivalries that we have with them in various Street Fighter games. So definitely just show some love. But yes, y'all guys take care. Thank you guys who are viewing and came through this awesome episode. And we'll definitely make sure I have it up as soon as possible tomorrow. And of course, y'all guys take it easy. Y'all be safe. Deuces, nothing but love to y'all.